in my necessities, in my persecutions, in distress for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. As you regulate in your minds, I want to use for thought. Suffering has benefits.
Amen.
Suffering. Preach it, man.
Amen. Suffering has benefits. I know if we look at it from our natural mind, you might want to say, Chism, you crazy, because I never heard anybody say suffering can be beneficial. But it was Eckhart Tolle that wrote a poem, and the title was, "Is Suffering Really Necessary?" And he goes on to say, yes and no. If you had not suffered as you have, there will be no depth to you as a human being.
Come on, man.
No humility, no compassion. You will not be reading this poem now. Suffering cracks open the shell of ego. And then comes a point when it has served its purpose. Suffering is necessary until you realize it is unnecessary. For we experience a lot of things in life, and sometimes we don't understand. Like, we ask Lord questions like, Lord, why must I have to go through this? Lord, why people study have to talk about me and ridicule me and persecute me? Lord, why do I have to continue to go to the hospital to get on this dialysis machine? Lord, why do I continue to have to go to the hospital for cancer treatment and chemotherapy? Lord, why?
Why?
Have you ever just questioned God before? I know some of the religious and the pious people would say that you're not supposed to question God, but maybe I just want to bust your bubble for a minute. If Jesus can question God, why can't I question God?
All right.
Because my Bible say you have not because you ask not. So it is nothing wrong with asking God a question why.
Why?
Suffering. I know that we all don't like to suffer. We don't like to feel pain, but sometimes if we have to grow, sometimes we grow through our suffering.
Yes, we do, John.
Suffer is to experience pain, to experience an illness or an injury. To suffer is sometimes to experience something that is unpleasant, as a defeat, as a loss, as damage. Just even on the other day, there was a lot of people in Fort Worth suffered from the hail that came down from the storm. I heard that it was over recorded over $300 million worth in hail damage. Suffering. Sometimes we feel that suffering is unavoidable. So I have to agree with China Archby. She said that when suffering knocks at your door, and you say there is no seat for him. But suffering would tell you, he said, don't worry. because I brought my own stool with me. Sometimes suffering just bothers its way up into our lives, and it just seems like we are lost hope. And then it was Saul Bellow in his book Seize the Day. He said, I want to tell you, do not marry suffering.
Come on, man.
He said, some people do.
Yeah.
He said, they get married to it. And they sleep and eat together. Just as husband and wife. He said, if they go with joy, they'll think somebody has committed adultery. Do you know somebody like that?
Come on, man.
That all they can rejoice in is what's going on in their lives. I remember even back home, it was some women when they was to get in fight with their boyfriends, they was like, girl, look at my eye. Did you look at your eye? Do you see how black it is? And you want to come around bragging about this man that's beating you up? Some people, it's time for us to stop marrying our problems and get a divorce. You need to divorce that thing that's got you losing your mind, that's causing you to lose your sleep.
Preach, man.
But all I'm trying to say is suffering has benefits. I'm quite sure when you got hired on your job, the first thing you want to know, what is the benefit package?
Well, now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, vacation.
Yeah. How many PTO hours we got? How many points I got to get before I lose
My job.
my job? Can I get long-term and short-term disability if something happens to me? That is the first thing that we want to know.
The benefit.
Our benefits.
How much you gonna make an hour?
Yeah. How much we gonna make an hour?
Yes, sir.
Is it beneficial if I can work this overtime? How many things if overtime is promised? How many hours can I get?
Yeah. And this is time and a half. Time and time.
Oh yeah. But as we look at this text, we'll find out that Paul, he was going against the false teachers because they were boasting and about their credentials and they was boasting about their rhetorical style and how they preach and deliver God's word and how arrogant they were. But I come to tell you, anytime you got some false teaching, you got some false living.
Right, sir.
Anytime a man of God stands before God's people and teaches them a false doctrine, he is teaching God's people how to live a false life.
Amen.
Yes, sir. That's
And
good,
what
man.
we need nowadays is stop telling people what we know, and we need to tell them what they need to hear. And I come to tell somebody this morning, sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes we endure suffering. And we don't like to go through anything that will cause us hurt, harm, and pain. But in the midst of your going through, there is a coming out.
There got to be a coming out.
There got to be a coming out. And Paul, he talks about his vision that he had from God. And he didn't want to be conceited in what God had already showed him. He didn't want to get the big head about what God had revealed unto him. That's why many of us, most of the times, us teachers and preachers, we ought to not get the big head about the revelation that God has given us.
Yes, sir.
We ought to point the people back to the one who gave the revelation and not steal the credit from God, because it is God that revealed it to us that we can reveal it to somebody else. You ain't all that intellectual by yourself. It takes someone from a higher power to deliver you the things that in the spirit to bring it down to the earthly realm.
Man. Heavenly minded, but no earthly good.
But see, let's talk about our benefit package.
All right.
Our first benefit in our manual we have humility. And that what God was trying, what Jesus was trying to teach Paul was continue to humble yourself. Not get the big head about what I have instilled in you. And we said that Paul said that it was giving me a thorn. And I got to thinking about it. It's the word "given." So it means that Jesus placed something inside of Paul. He said he was. In some theologians say it was malaria. Some say it was epilepsy. Some say he was dealing with his sexual desires. But what I like about it is that Paul didn't pinpoint his thorn. Because if he would have pinpointed his thorn, then somebody would have had the audacity to identify with what Paul was going through. But I'm just so glad that he left it open. So I just want to ask you a question. How many thorns do you have that is keeping you humble and keeping you from getting a big head to what God is trying to do in your life?
Yes, sir.
He said in this thorn that Paul takes the root word thorn and he uses to describe it is a tent stake and not a thumbtack. Because you can take out a thumbtack, but it's hard to take out something that has been drilled and nailed into your hand. And it said that the Greek word is skola. It's something that frustrates and causes troubles in the lives and causes you to be afflicted. This thorn was given. It was given by God.
What you say, man?
And what have God given you to keep you humble? And Paul was going through. He said not only did God give him a thorn, but he also sent a messenger of Satan.
What did he say?
He said it buffeted me.
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying to tell me, Paul? Okay, now God, Jesus then gave you a thorn, but he also then gave you a messenger. Not only is it a messenger, but it's Satan. What is you trying to do? So, and it said that it buffeted me. It said that it was like a slap in the face. Yeah, it was a punch. Have you ever felt like you have been beaten up black blue about what God had put something on the inside of you? Yeah, it was Ram Dass that said, he said, suffering is the sandpaper of our incarnation. It does the work of shaping us. God is trying to use your thorn to shape you into the woman or the man of God that he has designed you to be. I'm going to tell you a little bit about a thorn. One of the thorns that I have is sometime on the job. Sometimes supervisors think they can talk to you any kind of way. But I remember back in Louisiana that there was a point in time when the supervisor got on my nerves, and I told supervisor a piece of my mind. But now when I experience this same thing, that God began to poke me in my side and say, shut up, boy. You better shut up. You better shut up, boy. You better shut your mouth. What is God poking you at? I know don't nobody want to reveal they thorn. I know don't nobody want to reveal what your weakness is and what your struggle is. But there is a thorn where God would put you in a situation where he has to poke you to keep you from destroying yourself.
All right, man. All right.
God, man.
All right, man. Boy, you preaching good.
Learn that our first benefit package is humility, and our second one is prayer.
All right.
Well, in verse 8, Paul, he said, "For this thing I besought the Lord 3 times, that he might depart from me." Have you ever just prayed and prayed? Oh, Lord, and prayed. Ooh, take it away from it, Lord. Have you ever just pour it out to God? Lord, take it away. Either take me or take it away from you. Lord, I don't care what you do. You got to do one of the two, but just take it from me. Just take it away from me.
All right.
Have you ever just been hurting away? Every time you move, you feel like aching or pain. If I can just be still and lay up in the bed all day, I would be just fine. But sometimes we gotta move. Right. And every time you move, it hurts. But Lord, can you just take it away from me? Ain't nothing like an unanswered prayer, y'all.
My God. Yes, sir.
Ain't nothing like an unanswered prayer. Have anybody in the house of God today have ever had an unanswered prayer?
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Paul was seeking relief from his suffering. Some say that Paul was pricked and it bothered him. And some say it distracted Paul from his labor. And some say it made him weak and sick. I come to tell somebody this morning, doing the work of God, sometimes you will be pricked and bothered for some people. Yeah. Sometimes you will get distracted from your labor of the work of the Lord. And sometimes you will get weak and you will feel like you're sick and tired, like, Lord, I can't do this no more. Amen. But I like in Paul's prayer. I like how James Trapp put it. He said, God respects not the arithmetic of our prayers on how they are, not the rhetoric of our prayers and how neat they are, nor the geometry of our prayers on how long they are, nor the music of our prayers on how melodious they are, nor the logic of our prayers on how methodical they are. And he said, but the divinity of our prayers on how heart-strong they are. Not the gifts, but the graces that prevails in the prayer. Come on, with God, he want to receive a prayer that is coming straight out of your heart. Oh yeah, I know we all seen in church where some people get up to pray. It sounds like they preaching, don't it?
Yeah.
It sounds like they singing a song. It don't take all that to impress God. It don't. All you gotta say is, Lord, have mercy on me.
Preach this thing.
Paul, he was pleading with the Lord. And he was pleading with the Lord. He was so passionate about his prayer. And he said it ran him into another dimension. And it had a physical dimension on him because he was dealing with a thorn in his flesh. Oh, he was physically drained. And it had a mental dimension on him because he was also dealing with the messenger of Satan. Yeah. And it had a spiritual dimension on him because he was dealing with an unanswered prayer. Isn't that sound like some of the things that we go through is we either physically drained, mentally challenged, spiritually distressed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But what I like about it is there is joy and peace when not only when you pray to God, but also when God starts talking back to us.
Ooh, boy, preach that.
Of all the agony that Paul was going through, of all the distress that he was going through, all that he was trying not to be boastful about his experience that he was going through. He said, and he said unto him, the most amazing thing that you can ever experience when Jesus started talking back to you. We done had that he got humility and
that's a benefit.
And it was prayer, but
that's a benefit.
Another benefit is God's provision.
Woo! My God.
His provision. You see, Jesus said, "My grace is sufficient for thee." Jesus saying, whatever you are suffering, whatever you're going through, he said, "My favor is sufficient." He said, "My care is sufficient." He said that my help is sufficient for you.
That's good, though.
I'm like, Jesus, what you trying to say, Lord? What you trying to say? And sufficient, he was saying that it's adequate.
That's what he said.
He's saying, and my sufficient. He said, you content. He's saying that in my sufficient. He's saying you are satisfied.
Come on, man.
He's saying in my sufficient. He's saying it's enough. Sometimes when we are suffering, we are going to the wrong people. We're going to the wrong person. Someone that is inadequate. Someone that is not enough. We still need more help. We are going to somebody that can't satisfy our need. Somebody is leaving us uncomfortable. But what we need to go is to the one who can satisfy our very needs.
Return, Lord. Hallelujah.
And Paul, he was desperate in his relief, but it said it only came in two ways. It said Paul was saying either Lord remove it, but there was two things that God would do. He would either remove the suffering. Yeah. But this one thing that I like, that he will strengthen the load of the one that bears the load.
God Almighty, I like that, boy.
I don't know about you, but what we need, even though we suffer and we go through things in life, what you want God to do is, Lord, strengthen me as I grow through my trying time.
Strengthen me.
In God's provision, and what I like about it is he said he got the grace to meet the needs.
All right. Yes.
Something about grace. You ain't got enough money to pay for grace. You ain't too good that you can obtain grace. It said, how could how could God have the grace to meet the needs? He said the grace could be upon Paul because it expresses God's acceptance and his pleasure in us. How about this grace? It said it was because it was God's grace is available all the time. And it said it is because it is God's very own strength. Not only is his grace sufficient in our benefit, Pastor Glenn, I'm like, Lord, I need something else. I understand that you are enough. I understand that I can be content in you. I understand that I can be satisfied in you. And he goes on to say another thing. He says, my strength is made perfect in weakness. And I was strength, Lord. What Jesus is telling us, he's saying, my power is made perfect. And I was looking at made perfect, Lord. What are you trying to see? And from the Greek teleo, it said bring to an end. He's saying it is finished. He's saying it is complete. And another thing, what I said and what I was reading in my studying is when Jesus said that my strength is made perfect in thy weakness. Made perfect also means to pay taxes.
All right.
Me too, boy.
Sometimes I take the girls to the store and I give them money. And sometimes when they leave the house, they'll get the exact money that they want to go to the store to purchase something. But what I be trying to stress to them is that you bring just enough money, but you don't bring no taxes. That's what God is to us. You can go to the counter and put your stuff on the counter and have the exact same thing, but if you don't have the taxes, you can't get the product. Aren't you glad that God paid taxes on you? Aren't you glad that when the devil was trying to take you out, he just had enough, but God had the taxes to bring you back. Oh yes. Try go a whole year without paying your taxes, and she want the government come looking for you.
So will. They coming, Doc. They ain't gonna answer these. They gonna come.
But Paul got to looking at his beneficial package plan, he started to change his mind frame. Like, Lord, I done been humbled. I done been praying, and I done heard the word from the Lord. And after you receive his package, he said, now it's time to rejoice.
What do you say?
And Paul began to say, most gladly, I would rather glory in mine infirmity, and that the power of Christ may rest upon me. That is good news, because as I was reading and studying, the power of Christ may rest upon me is that whenever you are going through what you're going through, whenever you feel like you just can't make it, whenever you feel like you're about to lose your mind, it is saying that the power of Christ may rest upon me. All it's saying is God will pitch his tent over you. And when you're going through what you're going through, God will pitch his tent over you to give you the strength to go through what you're going through. Aren't you glad that when you was on the verge to lose your mind, that God came down and he pitched his tent upon you? Some of the things that you went through would have killed somebody else. Some of the things that you went through, somebody else would have lost their mind. But that's why some people don't understand what you go through, because there's something on the inside that got me doing things that I really thought I couldn't do, because it ain't me, it's God himself. Because he pitched his tent around me. He pitched his tent, and that's what Paul he said. He said, therefore, after God pitching his tent around me, therefore I can take pleasure. Oh yes, I know you may be going through, but Paul said I can take pleasure in my affirmity. I can take pleasure in my reproaches. I can take pleasure in my necessity. Oh yes, some people. Yes, he said I can take pleasure in my persecution. Just in case you feel like I still need to find out what's going on in my package plan. Just in case I didn't see all of my benefits that goes on in my package plan. All you got to do is just turn to Matthew the 5th chapter. Because it get a list of all of us that is suffering. If you want to know what's in your beneficial package plan, because the word of God say, blessed are the poor in spirit. It's in your package plan. He said, blessed are they that mourn, because they shall be comforted. That's in the blessing. It's in your package plan. He said, blessed are the meek, because they shall inherit the earth. It's in your package plan. It said, blessed are they which hunger and thirst after righteousness. It's in your package plan. It said, blessed are the merciful, because they shall attain mercy. It's in your package plan. It said, blessed are the pure in heart, because they shall see God. It's in your package plan. It says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be the children of God. It's in your package plan. It says, blessed are they that are persecuted for righteousness' sake, and they shall see the kingdom of heaven. It says, blessed are ye men that revive you and persecute you, and they shall do all manner of evil things towards you. And what I like is verse 12, rejoice and be exceedingly glad. That's why I have a good package plan. Even though you may be going through what you're going through, all you got to do is know the one that holds you. And the one that holds you was none other than Jesus the Christ. That came down through 42 generations. That died on Calvary's cross. No other than to have a beneficial package plan that somebody can die and get up. That you may live and die and be with him. May God bless you and may God keep you.